Welcome to another episode of the Crypto PowerPod, where joining me today, I have the founder and CEO of BitComps. So welcome to the show, Geordie Nakamoto.
Thanks, Prof.
As usual, we've got 20 questions that we will go through. 5 will be project specific, and then we'll start to deep dive into Geordie's life experiences, opinions and thoughts on the Web3 space and life in general. So we'll kick things straight off, Geordie. In one sentence, what is your project's USP?
USP, raffles with potentially life-changing prizes with trust built in and verifiable on the blockchain.
And what is your 30-second elevator pitch?
So, what would you do if you won a full Bitcoin? Would you sell it or would you hold? BitComps is an original crypto skill-based competition platform where you can win Bitcoin, luxury cars, tech, cash. Traditional competitions are opaque. You enter, you don't really know if it was fair, who was drawn, who was the winner, how many tickets were sold. BitComps is different, and we've built in trust from the blockchain. So we have proof of entry and we have proof of transactions for the payouts on the hash. So we're bringing transparency to raffles with blockchain, verified winners, global access and crypto payments built in. The UK raffle market alone is worth over $4 billion a year in revenue. Now imagine that on a global scale with no borders, no banks, no barriers to entry. You can be anywhere in the world, connect your wallet and pay to buy a raffle ticket in these potential draws. Some of the smaller prizes, we'll be doing auto draws, which have quite a quick turnover. And some of the bigger prizes like Lambos or Bitcoin, we'll be doing live draws streamed on our Facebook, YouTube, and also Streamer network. And then we'll be recording on-chain for complete transparency all of the crypto payments back to those people. Obviously, if they're not physical prizes. If they're physical prizes, we'll do our best to evidence them getting collected or dropped off with the people as well. But it'll be life-changing prizes, and we have the comps token in the background that's going to be powering it. And what we're doing with that is buy and burns, where 10% of all gross profits go directly back into the ecosystem to reduce supply. All you have to do is connect your wallet anywhere in the world, and you're part of what we're trying to do.
As you noted, a huge market in the UK. So for anybody that's in the US or Europe, Asia, South America, honestly, these things are all over the UK at the moment. There's a couple of big ones that off the top of my head, you've got Omaze, you've got Elite giveaways, and they're doing crazy numbers and volume.
Yeah, Omaze, I think at the moment, got £6 million, so $7.5 million worth of property that are getting raffled off. So huge demand, huge revenues, and it's becoming the norm to participate in these.
Yeah, well, millions of people participate in lotteries every week, and I guess this is just much better odds and still
much better odds.
Life-changing as well, anywhere from, 10,000 upwards to potentially winning a house or a car. That's significant to a lot of people. So.
Yeah, and as we grow, we have aspirations to be giving away $1 million, $2 million. All we have to do is make sure that we've got the traction of people coming in and buying the tickets to make sure that we get to a point where we can give these things away.
What would you say is the biggest misconception people have about what you're building out?
I don't know. I guess people might see this as casino, gambling, betting, but it's not. We've worked a lot on the compliance. And like you say, there's a lot of Web2 traditional market business models around raffles. So we've done a lot of investigation into how they work. There'll be a skill-based question. There'll also be opportunities to enter some of these competitions free of charge. Because of the skill-based questions and the free entries, it becomes a skill-based raffle. It is not gambling. It is not a casino. We've triple checked that and have a legal team working with us to ensure that we're compliant.
Yeah, no, that's a key differentiation to point out there, particularly with things like prediction markets at the moment that are a bit in between with some of the markets that they're offering. Give us some alpha on BitComps. Why are we using it compared to potentially the other services and products that are available at the moment?
I'm going to say that there is no services and products available in crypto exactly what we're trying to do right now. But I think BitComps can scale massively. If you look at how poly markets has become so mainstream, getting discussed by Trump and MBS in Saudi Arabia, it's became a normal conversation to talk about poly markets. Everybody knows what it is. I think if we can start and get to the mainstream, BitComps could become a household brand in the raffle and giveaway Web3 space. And as we grow, we've got other things. And for the alpha, I would say we're looking to try and integrate Telegram-based instant win games as well, so that we can build the hype and have people engaging with our communities. And also, we're going to be doing multiple region live shows in the future as well, as long as we continue down the development path.
Yeah, some great alpha there, and yeah, great opportunity to get involved early, it seems. We're going to move on to some of the more general questions about your life experiences now, your opinions and your thoughts. So What's something you've changed your mind about since you've started development?
Originally, we were going to go 100% crypto and decentralized. And then the more investigation we did to what's already existing in the normal markets, we just saw how big a market opportunity it was. So at the moment, we're working on integrating fiat and crypto so that we can take advantage of both of those markets. We're also working on the compliance to be able to do Meta ads and Instagram ads and TikTok ads to people around the UK, Europe, Ireland, and further afield, so that they can participate even if they're not completely crypto savvy. And that for us is just, it's a massive market and we wanted to capture some of it. We couldn't leave it behind.
Yeah, no, that makes sense as well, particularly that Web 2.5 community that are kind of in between. Which founder do you secretly want to grab a coffee with?
Probably not 100% crypto founder, but Michael Saylor. I love his conviction. I love his work ethic. I own some MicroStrategy. I've held it up and I've held it back down, and I continue to hold it for the long term. I would love to have a coffee with him and understand if his work ethic and conviction comes from some knowledge that the rest of the market doesn't have. I would love to know if he knows for a fact the strategic US reserve is going to happen, or something else is going to happen, or some public sovereign wealth funds buying that we don't know about, because otherwise, wow, he is well and truly into this play.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. There's some great videos of them as well, going back 15, 20 years. Just talking about things like the Apple iPhone and kind of smartphone developments and what that was going to do to the future generation. And it was pretty much spot on. He realized that very early. So it wouldn't surprise me if he's done the same with Bitcoin. And he's, just a very, very clear forward thinker.
There'll only ever be 21 million, and he's got 3% of them.
Yep, and growing as well. So we'll see. Are you a breakfast person, Geordie?
Definitely a breakfast person. I love a McMuffin a bit too much, and I'm very much a coffee addict.
Nice. What's your coffee of choice? Just straight?
Just white coffee. I go for volume rather than anything too posh and too milky.
Fair one. What's the best life advice you could give somebody?
Don't be too busy making a living that you forget to live. I don't know where I heard that years and years and years ago. And for a long time, I was just work, 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 work. And now I'm a father of a little girl. For me, having quality time and stepping away from the computer sometimes, that has so much more upside than the constant grind.
Yeah, no, balance is obviously key there. And we can get lost in this space as well. I mean, it's not difficult to be at your computer for 12, 14 hours and,
Especially when you've got your computer in your pocket everywhere you go.
Yep. Well, that's it. Yeah, that's it. Last thing you bought that wasn't a necessity?
I had to think about this one because I would justify everything as a necessity if I bought it. But I like motorbikes. I enjoy doing track days. And I think one of the more extravagant purchases over Christmas for myself was a little GPS race box computer that you fit on your bike, and then it gives you all of the track data from when you're going around, so you can go on the computer, find out different sections you're going fast on, the GPS, the acceleration, the deceleration. I'm kind of a geek for stuff like that.
Nice. Might see some of these devices on the BitComps site as well.
Maybe.
What's a conspiracy theory that blows your mind?
I don't really believe in conspiracy. I don't buy into conspiracy theories. Obviously, people have them, from flat earths to God knows what. And I think a lot of them are just rubbish. I did see one on Clarkson's farm that mushrooms came from space and are not native to the planet Earth, and I quite like that conspiracy theory.
I haven't heard that one. I'm gonna have to look into it.
Mushrooms don't make sense. I don't eat them. I don't like them. I'm scared of them.
That's given me similar vibes to ancient Egypt and how they've managed to build things that should have taken them thousands of years, and they managed to construct them in a couple of decades. So yeah, I'll definitely look into that one. Not heard mushroom conspiracies before. What's your favorite internet rabbit hole that you've recently gone down?
I'm so busy with crypto that I don't really go down rabbit holes so much, but I think one of the ones that keeps popping up from time to time is the whole who runs the world kind of conspiracy. Who is behind Biden? Who's the men in suits? Who's actually who's calling the shots? Who is the World Bank? Who's the decision maker at the World Bank? Who tells El Salvador that they can't use crypto and they need to use dollars or gold? I would love to know a little bit more about that. And I think the rabbit hole that you can go down is it kind of comes back to like some of these countries that have had rulers overthrown in the Middle East in the 80s and 90s, that they were trying to move away from the World Bank. And that's why they were overtaken for oil and resources and keeping them on the dollar standard or the gold standards or the oil standards or whatever you want to talk about. That's a little bit of a rabbit hole to go down, but take everything with a pinch of salt, but it's interesting.
Yeah, I remember reading, was it Colonel Gaddafi wanted to bring in the gold coin as a standard, and apparently there was a few people that weren't too happy with that. So that's an interesting rabbit hole if people have got time. And then I'm guessing the rest of it's all potentially linked to the likes of the Rothschilds and
Apparently, Saddam Hussein as well got fed up with dollar-denominated power, because why would you use a dollar when they're printing dollars as your reserve? And yeah, who actually runs the world?
and this comes full circle back to Bitcoin and 21 million. So yeah, it's definitely relevant. What's the best live event that you've ever been to?
New Year's Eve in Reykjavik, Iceland. I think it was 7 years ago, just gone. Me and my now wife took a holiday, and I'd been working in Africa at the time. So I went from Sahara Desert back to the northeast of England for 24 hours and then flew to Reykjavik, and it was great. And those guys know how to party on New Year's Eve. Fireworks from, I think it was like 6 o'clock at night till 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, just non-stop. The Aurora Borealis starting over the harbour. Great memories. By the big churches, all the families buy some fireworks and take it to the official people who then set them off for you. It was a massive event.
Sounds awesome. And yeah, Iceland's on my bucket list as well. I need to go and catch the Northern Lights. What's something in crypto that everyone loves, but you're just not that into?
Meme coins. I don't need to explain myself. Is 99% of them are when the music stops, the community is getting rugged, and all people are trying to do is get money off fellow community members. I don't get it. I don't like it.
Have you seen the creator coins more recently? So
No.
creator coins on, I don't know if you know, Base launched their app recently, social media type app, and you could create a creator coin, and people have just realized again that there's not a lot of value to these. And I'm just like, do we need to repeat the same cycle every 12 months where people just throw their money into absolute crap that's not going to stick?
It's pure gambling. And I always said it was like musical chairs. For those who ever played musical chairs as a kid, everything's fun whilst you're running around and the music's playing. But if it stops and you haven't got a chair to sit on, you're out. And that is meme coins. I think everybody's in pain right now with altcoins, and I am as well, significantly over the last year or two. And I've continued to DCA and watch things go down. But you still own the underlying asset, and there should still be a business. I invest in businesses in utility, and as long as you believe in that utility longer term, it should come back.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with that. I'm a huge utility maxi, and certainly things with revenue share models, yields, anything that is tangible where you're potentially going to make money long term. I think that's where this space is headed as well. I'd like to think it is. I do think there's a small place for the bigger memes that have those huge communities, but that's because, they've been around for years, and they are now creating utility from their meme coins. But I think, yeah, and I completely agree with you, the millions of tokens that are getting generated on a weekly basis now, there's going to be no value to them if they're not utility based. The space has just moved on from that. If you weren't doing this, Geordie, what would you be doing?
I think that there's two answers to that. What would I like to be doing? Not a lot, and riding motorbikes in the sun, but I always like to do something. I grew up in a family that was involved in business, and for me, I get bored too easily if I'm not doing something business related.
So you'd still be working, basically.
I've stopped working.
I think that's fair. What's the worst thing that you've seen go viral?
NFTs. NFTs were daft.
Any specific collections or?
So I get some of the crypto punks, and it's cool to have them as your profile, and it's basically like, look at me, I can afford one of these things. But when anybody can copy and paste it or click right, save to file, and then you've got pictures of rocks going for millions and millions, I didn't get it. With art, I can understand the underlying asset when it's physically being painted or done, and you can go and touch it and feel it and see the brush strokes and all of that stuff. And you take a picture of it, and I understand the underlying art. I don't understand digital art when there's nothing unique about the digital version compared to somebody else's digital version.
Do you know something? I've seen a collection. I think it's called Squidgies. I might be wrong, but it literally looks like somebody's opened up a paint document and just brush stroked 6 or 7 different colors in 6 or 7 different ways. And every NFT is slightly different, but could be done by a 5-year-old.
I think I could go on Grok or ChatGPT and say, make me an NFT collection with everything being slightly different to the next, and it'll be done in 10 seconds.
I see value in NFTs, but again, they have to have that utility. The digital art collections, I think, again, this space has been through, a couple of cycles now, and those original NFTs, I can understand that there's going to be value associated with those, but people making collections on a daily basis with no tangible kind of connection to any sort of value.
I get it. If you own an NFT, it's almost like a license to participate in other things, because then you can check the wallet that has it and you can drop them other things or invite them to events. Or yeah, I can understand that bit, but in general, the NFT craze was daft. It was just as silly as meme coins.
Do you have any weird superstitions or pre-meeting rituals?
No, not really.
Sure.
Just get on with it.
Some people like to overcomplicate things. Some people do have some quite complex rituals. So it's interesting to get to know the personalities as well and just kind of see how everybody kind of goes about their day. What's a technology you wish existed right now?
So I wish there was a zero carbon, almost null cost energy source, which was scalable. If we had zero carbon, scalable energy everywhere, I think it would solve a lot of the world's problems. Just everybody could have abundant energy. You could run whatever you wanted. And it would bring the standard of living in a lot of places a lot higher and reduce a lot of costs in everything. When you transport goods, when you buy goods, when you're flying, when you're shipping, if we got rid of all that to a minimal cost, it would make massive differences.
Yeah, I think we're probably a couple of generations away from that as well. And I don't know what the powers who be would think of it coming into play. Everything's about money at the end of the day, isn't it?
It is.
What's your most irrational fear?
I didn't used to have this, and I don't know where it came from, but the sea. And it's, for me, it's like, that's where sharks live. Why would I go there? And that's completely irrational. I think there was a video a few years ago of somebody off the coast of Egypt getting eaten by a shark whilst shouting for the dad. And I'm just like, yeah, never going in the sea again.
Yeah, there's been a lot more news-related articles on sharks over the last few years. There was something interesting I read as well. It was around drug smuggling and sharks starting to understand patterns where cocaine is basically put near specific buoys in the water, and they will attack the packages because they're obviously getting a cocaine high off it. There was another Netflix documentary as well. I think it's
Cocaine Bear,
yeah,
the sequel.
that's the one. Yeah. So, but no, apparently there's the scientific evidence now that sharks are actively seeking in specific areas, and they believe that may be linked to some of these shark attacks as well. So, take that what you will.
Did you see the one where alligators are starting to learn to wave with one hand to act like they're drowning, and people go to try and save them and getting eaten?
Crazy. The final question, Geordie. What do you want people to know about BitComps? How can they get involved, and what's going to be happening over the next couple of weeks?
So we have a public sale for the token starting on Pink Sale. We've done the KYC, we've done the contract audits. It's all listed there and ready to go. The whole business goes live on the 19th of January. So we were aware that people wanted to see proof of concept. The website's built, the back end's built, everything's ready there to be engaged with. We have a full affiliate system that's built into the website as well. So if you're not participating in the public sale or playing with the token, you can still support us and earn at the same time. So get in touch, go on the website, register as an affiliate. If you're sharing our links, if you're talking about us in your community or doing videos on us, please use your own link. And we'll give you 5% of revenues that you help us generate. So we're hoping that the old traditional marketing model works and lots of people will talk about us and want to learn from us.
Big stuff. Well, it's been great having you on the show today, Geordie. All the best with BitComps launch, and I'll definitely be participating in the raffles myself. I'd like to win a Lamborghini at some point in the next couple of years, so hopefully I'm one of the lucky ones. But for everybody else, we'll see you on the next episode of the Crypto PowerPod, and do make sure you check out BitComps social media channels and take a look at that Pink Sale as well. Thank you very much.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.